It's Madden NFL 22, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Saints and the Falcons coming up next.
From the future home of Super Bowl 56, there's a look at SoFi Stadium just south of downtown Los Angeles. Today, we've got an NFC South matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Brennan Gordon alongside, as always, my partner Charles Davis. And CD, in the few moments here before kickoff, let's give these folks at home a look at these two offenses by the numbers. What stands out to you?
Brandon, I just continue to be amazed by the analytics of the game, and it's an area where I continue to concentrate and study because I'm still trying to figure out how coaches and coordinators can really crunch the numbers and find where exactly on the field the defense is vulnerable. It's the game within the game. And if you really dive into it, it can be endlessly fascinating.
Set to go, Younghoe Koo ready to do the honors. And we are underway in Southern California. Here comes Deontay Harris from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
Throughout his career, few have doubted Jameis Winston's ability to throw the football. The concerns, they've always centered around his accuracy and taking care of it. When he makes good decisions on the field, excellent numbers usually result.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Jameis to throw it. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Winston now. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Richie Graham. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Matt Ryan, the longtime Falcon, a veteran who's been in the league since 2008, ready to guide this Atlanta offense.
And when you start with listing a guy's accomplishments like Matt Ryan's, all these years in the league, near the top of the league in completions and percentage, touchdowns each and every year, has won an MVP, taken his team to the Super Bowl. You're talking about a guy who might be finished, but he still has gas left in the tank. Big right arm, great leader, the face of his franchise.
And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Ryan going to give this to Davis. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Demario Davis there on the stop.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Throwing on 2nd and long. Ryan. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. It'll be a gain of 12, and it will also lead to 4th down.
There's another example where defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
And we'll see Younghoe Koo now for the Falcons. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. On the return, Deontay Harris. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Time again to see Jameis Winston in this Saints offense. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held them to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
2nd down at 7. Off the play fake, Winston. Incomplete. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing, Winston. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, they brought the pressure, and that made man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. Looking deep downfield. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on, because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. men in the secondary, now on third. Here's Winston. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Richie Graham. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Well, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He'll drop this off for Davis. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. He'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make this a 2nd down. From the gun, it's Ryan. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position, now facing 3rd down. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to a sack back at the 16-yard line. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
Whereas up how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the 1st. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
So a couple of field goals now, 6-0 our score as the kicks are away. Here's Harris to return it. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Jameis Winston and the Saints ready to go back again on offense. Interesting stat line right now. Technically, he's completed 4 passes, 2 to his team and then 2 to the wrong team.
It makes you wonder what he's seeing downfield because he has completed 2 passes to his own team, but the interceptions are troubling. Is he going through the wrong reads, the wrong progressions? Is he getting fooled by defenses? They've got to figure that out over the sidelines, working on that Surface Pro to see what they see.
Foyesade Aluakan made the tackle there from his safety position. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, Winston. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
On third down, Winston. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the sign judge, and that's good enough for a first down.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
They go play action. Winston. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Grady Jarrett. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Another try after the first down sack. Winston. On the check down, he finds Kamara. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be a third and about 13. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
Blake Gillikin on the punt now on fourth down. Cordero Patterson deep for Atlanta. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Falcons offense set to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
2nd and 9. Now a handoff to Davis. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
From the gun on third down, Ryan. That's to the speedster Olamide Zaccheaus. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
The first down carry for Davis. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Here's Ryan. He completes this to Russell Gage. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 42.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now it's Ryan. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Ryan. Right back to Pitts again. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Davis, he'll try to run for it. Well, he's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will make our score 9-0. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. Here's Harris to return it. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first down.
And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. On play action, Winston. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To throw is Winston. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara, 31 yards. And the Saints are back within a score. getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Will Lutz on for the point after. And they're back within a couple at 9-7 now. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded right at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever made.
A big play there on the catch and run.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball, let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to Davis. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. More from L.A. in a moment. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, Ryan. And his throw here's incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, but now it'll be 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork that led to the incompletion.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
Punter Sterling Hoffrichter out now on 4th down. Deontay Harris deep for New Orleans. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or they want to take the big strike and go after it right now. It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, You often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Winston to give, it's Kamara. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Jameis to throw it. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Through 1 quarter, 9-7 our score. The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. A give. This is Kamara. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Saints on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now Winston. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Off the play fake, Winston. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Grady Jarrett able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the 1st half.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the 1st down sack. Winston.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Complete. Smith has it. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage. And that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area. So you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Try to pound it in, Kamara. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Winston. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Brandon Copeland. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop it. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
3rd and goal, Winston. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Also a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while, but when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Now Will Lutz, who went to college a stone's throw from here at Georgia State, comes on for the field goal attempt. This will be a 34-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good. And they take the lead here by a point, 10-9. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Ryan. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And here's Hoffrichter now, the punter, as he sends this one away. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, a little tired, and if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense. For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, Winston. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
1st down, Winston. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? You need that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, probably need about a half size smaller to complete that one.
The Saints on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10. Winston now. And that will be incomplete as well.
He could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find...
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Marcus Davenport just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. If you want a lesson on how to defeat an offensive tackle, that was pretty textbook.
Is that a clip and save? That's what's going to go around the league, and people are going to watch that and say, my goodness, that's how you do it? And I feel awful for the offensive tackle because we always talk about the athleticism of that guy who just beat him. Well, you have to be athletic to try and block that guy. Just in this case, the defense won.
After the sack on 1st down, Ryan airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 17. Ryan. Getting this ball out wide for Davis. And he'll take it down shy of 45 at the 46. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Lock up all his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back, But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Sterling Hoffrichter now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Saints on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by A.J. Terrell. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Davis. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
Any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Here's Davis now. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Now Ryan on 1st down. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And they'll try the jet sweep here. We've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a 1st down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
Here's Ryan. Touchdown! Russell Gage, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons have retaken the lead.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just haven't been able to punch it in until that point. Now the try here for the point after. And that'll make this a 6-point game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Touchdown. Here's Koo to kick off. No return there for Harris, and the drive will begin at the 25. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half, now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up second down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Second down and 3. To throw, Winston. And this one complete to Smith. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
The Saints on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 31. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field, so play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now it's Ryan. A dump off for Davis. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On second down now, it's Davis. And a short gain down to about the 33.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Falcons on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. To throw is Ryan. And that is incomplete. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will make this a 9-point lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. Here's Harris to return it. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
The Saints in the hurry up here, clock continuing to roll. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston on the check down, he finds Kamara. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Jameis now on first down. Looking long for Thomas. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Jameis to throw it. He's going to take another shot here. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
That's a great job working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
They buzz down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So that challenge is a successful one. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Ryan. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
2nd and 20. Davis running left. And he's got some space here. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Ryan. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Ryan. That's caught left side to the tight end Pitts. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First things first, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Saints. And they've had plenty of success throwing the football so far this afternoon, as they're on pace to throw for over 300 yards if their form holds. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they weren't quite as successful throwing the ball as their counterparts were, but they still were able to move the ball reasonably well in that first half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This taken in at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try to throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Ryan, and this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Ryan. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. The Falcons send out their punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for the second half.
A gain of 6 there on first. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Looking here for Smith downfield. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown. New Orleans. Traquan Smith, 53 yards. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, is what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
What's good on the extra point, and the lead is down to 2. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination. determination. Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Davis. It's a 1st down and more for Davis as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. 102 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, it's Davis. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On 3rd down, Ryan. He's got a man. It's Tajay Sharp. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Davis. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Again, it's Davis. And a short gain down to about the 33. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, 33 yards. And the Falcons push further out in front. And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. And this is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
Coup now for the point after. And that makes it a 9-point game. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown.
touchdown. Here's Koo to kick off. Taken at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second. When you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Winston. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Grady Jarrett able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Shifts by him. And a 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Matt Ryan and the Falcon offense set to get going again. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your quarterback? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. But when I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Yeah, that's what he's done here in this one so far. To throw again on 2nd down. Ryan. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down.